Hey, Brad.
What's up, Kenny? Man, Kenny, dude, you guys have it figured out on the East Coast. I'm digging this, by the way.
Awesome, brother. Hey, it's been an awesome journey for my wife and I. I've only been a coach for about 6 months, but things have gone quick and they've gone quick in a hurry. But leaning in has been a big thing. I own 3 other businesses, so this is business number 4. So for me, I've always been kind of the independent person, but I've always heard lean into your mentorship. I came from a grocery business where we did a $6-7 million a year, so I thought I knew it all. Guys, this is different. You've got to approach it from a different mindset. Lean in with your mentorship. I cannot, talk to you about that enough and speaking of that enough. And I will certainly go over that today. But by all means, sometimes you've got to get out of your own way to let that growth happen. So just stay the course, lean in. Don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is too stupid. Just remember that.
I love that. I love that. And it's so true. Anyone else naturally a do-it-yourself kind of person? I've had to learn that no one does anything great without a team behind them. And actually, it's funny. We're here in Miami for 10X Growth Con number 3, and Grant Cardone, who's like, I just love him as a speaker, said that very first thing we're saying. No one does anything great by themselves. So I love that, Kenny. You're going to share a little bit more knowledge with us today. I'm loving the chat right now. So many wins, reaching 6,000 for the first time. Let's see here. Where were else some other ones? Hitting senior coach. Congrats. 10 new clients, Lee. Holy cow, Lee. Nice job. Way to go. All right. Who else has got another win that wants to jump off and share before we hop in today? It's getting close to 7, so we'll probably do 2 more. I know it's early. Don't be afraid to hit that mute button. Or unmute button, rather.
So I can share.
Go for it.
So I reached executive director just on Thursday and had doubled my business in the last 2 months. And that was a real breakthrough because I'd been coaching since last March. And I first talked about it with my mentors in June. But growth was really slow, and I realized I'd kind of been building my business on wishes instead of building a way to build a business. And we are Optavia, it's an optimal way. And so I just really had to lean into the structures, the support structures we have for our coaches just as much as you do as a client. And I had been learning to improve my contacts and my health assessments and follow-ups, and that was a big, long season of sewing and tending. Lots of people who joined in December and January, I had been speaking to for 6 months. So that harvest came in. But when it started coming in, I realized that if I had not been learning the support system from my mentors, I wouldn't have been ready for it. I would have been overwhelmed. And I would have felt like I was juggling too many balls. But I had learned to use Optavia Connect to track things. I had learned to use my map to keep it a good overview and set some goals. And I had learned to schedule my week out in a very detailed way. And those things have made it so comfortably manageable. So it's been a good 2 months.
Man, I love it. Congrats on Executive Director Lori. And we're actually going to have you come back and share some of those wins here in a little bit. But thanks for doing it on the pre. That'll actually save us some time on the training today. All right, it's 7 o'clock. Anyone have another quick win they just want to share real quick? Don't be shy. Come on, get out there, be bold, get in front of people. Or else I'll call on you like my mom did for me at my first training. She said, come up, you're going to speak from stage. And I was like, I turned red. And my wife said, well, you have to go up there, right? And I don't remember what I said. And I think I may have alluded that my best friend was more than a friend accidentally because I didn't know what I was saying. But you know what? That's how you get out there and you learn stuff. So you know what? Get messy. Who's got one more win before we jump in today? Because everyone's popping in right now.
I do. Gina.
Go for it. Yay, Gina. What's up?
3rd month FIBC executive director. So excited.
Love it. And Big Thinkers Club, changing a lot of lives. I love this that we're kicking off February with celebrating that, because I remember when you were just a new coach, just getting after it and consistently plugged in and just celebrating every win. It just success leaves clues. Gina, congratulations. A lot of lives change, right?
Yes. A year ago, I would never have even imagined this. So excited.
So cool. All right.
Thanks for your leadership.
Of course. Thanks for being a part. That's what makes it awesome. All right, here, I'm going to make sure everyone's muted real quick, and we're going to kick off today. All right, everyone, it's 7:02. Let's get this started. If you need to, text over a friend. Let's make sure we don't start this month without anyone. Like good friends don't leave friends behind. Quick heads up. If you aren't, because I'm not going to share the PowerPoint till later, make sure you're on speaker view because we're going to have some people share some things as we kick off because we had a great month. By the way, congrats on an amazing, amazing month. We grew more than we've ever grown before, touched more lives. We had, I think, almost 20 new executive directors and just basically just changing lives all over the place. So take your hand, take your other hand, put it together, and give yourself a self-five because you guys are awesome and you guys are here today. My name is Brad Miller. I'm Integrated Presidential Director if I haven't met you. And today I've got my co-hosts, Susan and Shane. Are you guys with me? Presidential Directors?
What's up?
We're here.
We are loving the Growth Con energy, Brad, this morning. Like, thank you for infusing us West Coasters here nice and early. So I got my boot camp attire on.
Yeah, and we just like to welcome you guys. We're so glad all of you guys are here. February is like a super important month. I've heard a lot of you guys talking about consistency, and really we've been coaching for 9 years. Consistency is key, you guys. So congratulations for being here. Go ahead. This training is for those of you that are ready to grow, and we're already 150. I'm sure it's going to go well up over 200. So be ready with your notepad, notes to take notes, text your support team, let them know you're here. I agree. February, like January was awesome. I loved all the humble brags. Please continue, share what went well, brag on somebody else, goodness gracious, right? Because when we start, Brad, I always love when we start with the wins, being in gratitude. When we can be thankful for what has gone well, we bring more of that into our world. And so it's so important that we always can look back and say, maybe you didn't hit everything you wanted, but what went well? Where are you winning? Where are you moving forward? And when you can really embrace that, what's so awesome is it gives you the confidence that this next goal that I'm setting, I'm going to kill that. So January was amazing. February's historical. March is you blow your mind. So I think if you just stay consistent, this is week 3, but we're also kicking off a new month, and we're going to show you today how we do that in a way to create growth for yourself, not just into this month, but into the entire year and beyond. So let's get started. Brad, we're going to kick it back to you because we actually had to kind of people we wanted to share their wins. We could have picked we were trying to decide who do we have share. It was there's these 500 people. So, but we just hand selected a few people just to share what is going well this season. And so I'll pass it back to you to kind of introduce our first win of the day here.
All right, you guys. This is week number 3. So before I introduce some of these speakers, before we get in today, I just want to welcome you to this. Give yourself a big pat on the back because one, we every time we kick off a new month after a few months or a few weeks of consistency, it's the month after we kind of get the ball rolling that's really big. And so I want to welcome you to that. Shane, Susan already alluded to that February is a big month, and it is. Even though there's only 28 days, if you work it well, we will see huge growth. And we already saw big growth, and I'll show the slide here in a little bit, but you guys know that we don't really hit full momentum if you're consistent till March, April along this way. So I just want to congratulate you guys for being consistent today. Here's just the honest truth. And actually, I'm just going to ask you guys, can I be bold and unplugged with you guys today? My goal is to help you guys win. And if that's the case, drop me a 1 in the chat because I just want to make sure all of our speakers bring you exactly what you guys want to know because you guys are hungry to grow. Yeah, there's some ones popping in there. I love it. I'm so excited because a lot of you guys are brand new coaches. You guys don't even know what's ahead of you guys. But here's the deal. And, let's see here. We're about 20 less people than we were last week. And, that's okay because, I'm not me trying to okay, it's okay that we're losing people. Some people just won't make the commitment to being consistent. And I just want you guys to know that the magic is in being consistent. That's where the breakthrough happens. We're going to have some stories shared. And what's cool about it, I'm a kind of person that likes to know why when things happen. I want to know, I drove my parents nuts growing up because I was always well, why? Well, why is that? Why is that? And I always want to just know what makes the difference. So as we start this month, Like, we're going to show you today, we're going to open up to show you, what does it look like to grow? What does it look like to transform? What does it look like to be really good at changing lives? Like, what does that look like? What do the people do that are doing that? Because I know that's what I wanted. I just want to know, like, what are they doing? I'll do whatever it is they're doing. I know I've got the goods. I know I've got the health journey. Let's get started on that. So that's what we're going to open up today. You guys want it real and unplugged, and that's the case. So this month, if you can just set yourself up for consistency, if you can hold this as a rock in your schedule, and one of the action steps today is going to be how to launch this month into really good success that creates transformation, and what sets you up for a clear focus. We're going to go over that today. And Susan's also going to blow your mind with a health assessment. Also got to give her props on it. Like, as in going over it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like so perfect. And then she gave me one tip that she's going to share with you today that changed all my health assessments this week, like next level. And I was like, it went from like a 9.8, because I felt like my health assessments were pretty good, to like a 10.2 like health assessment. So without any further ado, I want to share some wins from different levels, because success looks different. We want to stay in our lane, focus on what we want. We want to focus on what we're creating, keep that momentum going. But I want to share a few stories of people that were winning. And Laura, you already saved us some time because you shared on the pre-call. If anyone isn't popping on 5 minutes early, hop on early in the future weeks, because that's where we share the wins that are happening. It's where the biggest breakthrough happens. But just kind of give us a quick thing real quick here, to kind of do a quick recap. You were an executive director and you had a big win of everything falling into place. What would you say that your big win was this last month? That people are asking, okay, how did Lori go ED? How'd she do that? How'd she start that many clients? What would you say you did that made the biggest difference for you last month?
Yeah, sorry for the people who have to listen twice. That was my confusion.
Not sorry at all. It's good.
Yeah. Well, I went in with like no really goals or expectations when I started coaching, and when I hit manager and started talking about making ED a goal, that was last June. And I was really trying to build my business on wishes. Like, oh, I wish somebody would, come through. And I was doing a great job of contacting people and following up and, sowing and tending that garden. But it was still built on wishes instead of really having a way to build my business. And then this fall, I just really leaned into the trainings and learned how to use Optavia Connect. That was like a game changer for me, to know where the details were, and the map, to be able to have a plan and have an overview and keep that before me every single day. And then one of the trainings talked about scheduling and just really learning how to keep a tight schedule on my week. That's just helped me personally. So when I did have all these people that finally came through after months of talking to them, I was ready to comfortably manage it. It hasn't felt any harder than when I had half the clients last summer. So, the systems really help you to be ready for the harvest when it comes.
Lori, oh my goodness, like, you're teeing up our day so well. First of all, congrats. Huge win. And your consistency, like you just said, you know what, like, you made the decision. You just stayed consistent throughout the year. You continued to show up, to learn, to grow, and you're seeing the fruits of that. And so congratulations. And yeah, you're teeing us up today. Just, like some of the topics we're talking on today on the skill sets is on, maybe you've heard them before, but we can always come and learn, like that one little golden nugget that's going to make that tweak so that we can serve more people. So congratulations. It's amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah, and we also, I was excited to have Amber Newman share. She's been partnered with all of us here for over 6 years, going on 7 years. Amazing. And I think sometimes when we think of wins, we do think of ranks or that next title. But what does this look like to do long term? And just seeing Amber take it to a whole new level when you've had the ranks, you've had the recognition, but like what it looks like to have clarity and to really make the decision to continue to impact a lot of lives. So Amber, you've had some great wins over the next season, working your business at a whole new level. Love for you just to kind of share, what that's looked like just as you kind of kicked off this year, and pass it to you.
Sure. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Like Susan said, I've been around almost 7 years since I started health coaching. Been very blessed in my business to, advance to different ranks and stuff. And then sometimes it's like, what's next? And so my husband and I went to the Intentionality Summit in November. And that was Levi's first Intentionality Summit. It was very helpful for both of us. to just really gain some clarity of like, what is next for us? What do we want moving forward? We've had a ton of blessings and a lot of success. And so we really dug in and came back, and I was like, you know what, like I'm ready for more, like I'm ready for more growth. And came to Susan and Shane and Brad and said, all right, you guys, like I'm ready to dig in more, and I'm completely open and vulnerable to hear feedback. And I think the best thing is to come to your mentors and be willing to listen and learn and let them speak truth into you. And I was like, what are the non-negotiables? Like, what do I need to commit to? I got my schedule narrowed down. I cut out some of the things that maybe in this season weren't going to be worth it, or maybe weren't even serving me at the time. And that has really freed me up to just dig into like what I want to create, what Levi and I want to create. And the systems, you guys, like the systems weren't as much around when I started, and like they are as clear, I was telling these guys, and concise as the 5-in-1 plan. Like when you follow them, all the things that we've been learning on these trainings, they work. Like, and so just go through the map, the clarity, the goals, the 3x3x3, you know, doing health assessments, moving people into coach explorers and integration calls, rinse and repeat, and you will see your business grow. But the best part is while that's happening, you're growing and developing yourselves, and that's the best gift of Optavia. So I'm excited. I'm excited to learn today from all you guys. It's been an awesome start to the year.
Congrats, Amber. It's been fun watching your energy ripple into your team and more people. So congratulations. Great example. I'm going to resist the urge to say amen to like a million things you said there. All right, let's do one more because we want to hop into today. Just examples of different levels to set your tone on and to show you like the success leaves clues. You guys, everyone here has greatness in them. You guys decided to show up. Some of you on the West Coast, which I am not this week, and I'm really happy about that. Like decided to get on at 7 a.m. and like get crazy with a bunch of people. So I wanted to have Lisa and Steve Nasco come on and share because they were brand new this time last year. They actually shared a little bit a couple weeks ago, but new integrated nationals, tons of people changing their health, and just, you know, would have never dreamed that you guys would be out here. So guys, real quick today, just come on and just share like if there's one tip or knowledge that you would share with yourself or with these people here based on what you guys have been able to accomplish and how many people you've been able to help this year. What's the one nugget you guys have for everyone today?
Go ahead, babe.
Oh. All right, so the one nugget I have is if I could go back to a year ago, it would be trust. Trust in this program, trust in, not the program, but trust in everything. Because when I came on, I didn't trust because there was nothing out there that ever had my best interest, you know, for me. And this program gave me all that, but I didn't know it at the time. So as soon as I got out of my way and trusted Denise, Danae, Brad, these were the ones that helped me. And when you don't trust, it's hard for you to follow the systems. Everything that Amber just said happens, but you have to trust. And if you don't trust, you don't open yourself up. That's what changes your mindset. So you guys, really, that's the key thing, is trust, and everything else flows along with you. The second nugget I have is the follow-ups. The follow-ups is what's making it so we can continue on with our, you know, high volume and everything like that. Because if you don't do your follow-ups, and we do it on Mondays, that's what keeps everything going. It's not just, you know, awakening a client, it's keeping by their side through the follow-ups week after week after week. And that's what's helped me in my coaching and with my organization.
Yep.
Anything you want to add to that, Steve?
Nope, I'm all good. I got a head cold and I can't hardly hear myself.
Okay. Well, I think because that, you know, I was getting choked up listening to you there because I want to get to today's training. But Lisa, this is actually the first place that I've been able to have trust. You know, like before this, Ashley and I were looking for a community, and we honestly, like, I don't think we ever said it to ourselves. Some of you have heard the story that, like, man, like, should we be like jerks to people? Because that's kind of how like the world goes. Like, no one really desires to see grow and have safe places and like have trust and build community, and like it's really real. So thank you for sharing that. It's probably one of the biggest gifts we get to give people. So that's what we're gonna go do this month. Yeah, did you want to say something else to that?
I want to say something else. I want to it's just with this right here, because I was able to trust, you know, you guys never left my side. The important thing was is that Denise and Danae and Brad were right there, and they never gave up on me. And that's what gave me the trust to realize this is everything. They do have my best interest at heart, because at any given time that we don't trust, it makes us act in a different way. And these guys leaned into me when I was not trusting. And that's what gives you the trust to realize what you have in your hand. It's not just about changing lives with your weight. It's about changing lives with your mindset and growing. And these guys never, ever backed away, ever. And I know that they have my back throughout this whole journey. A year ago, I doubted it. Today, it's 100% I know. I truly believe you guys are my family.
And I love watching the same. Like I love watching you on Facebook interact with your Optavia family. It's been fun to watch. But we got to get into today, you guys. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got greatness to accomplish. We got lives to change. We have lives to better ourselves, and we have growth to happen. So let me share my screen here and jump in. I'm going to resist the urge to bawl my eyes out because that was amazing. But welcome, you guys, to week 3, the most important week. You guys made it. Week 3 is where things become habit. Habits become natural. Natural becomes just things you can do in your sleep. It's like brushing your teeth. Just transformation happens. We're going to show you today how to create a growing business. I don't know where that music is coming from. Hold on. It's really good. I like it. There we go. Michelle, thanks for the music intro. All right. Actually, I've never had music starting the day. That was actually pretty cool. Okay, let's jump in today. We're going to show you exactly what creates growth. What creates growth in ourselves and the people around us. And of course, that's consistency and that's taking action. Of course, skill set plus mindset plus action plus consistency is the thing for success. You guys saw it last month. Some of you guys are ahead of that curve. You helped more than 10 people or more than 5 people. Some of you helped a little bit more, but your wave's building right now. Keep building on success. And this is why we're going to cover it today. My encouragement to you is to be consistent this entire month. Again, if you, we're going to get into some of the things here to what you to focus on today with where you're at, but there's 2 goals of this training because everything duplicates. It's, if you're not senior coach, don't senior coach yet. That's not one of them, by the way, because that's kind of a given. It's kind of like one of the last weeks where it'll be like, you'll get a lot of great stuff if you're not senior coach yet, but guys, like this is probably the last week where it'll be like, okay, we'll probably be moving on from the things that'll really benefit you with where you're at. So keep with us. There's plenty of people that want to be helped, but if you're not executive director this month, go executive director this month. If you're already executive director, go big thinkers. And if you're already big thinkers, you're going to do the third bonus thing. You're going to learn this so you can help other people win. That's what we're doing here. And guys, we're going to practice. And back to the trust thing and working with your support team, we're going to do it because you know what? We've never coached before if you guys are new. Or we generally haven't ever done the thing that we're going to do next in this business. And if we link arms with our support team, everyone thinks success looks like this, but really it looks like this in real life. But in Optavia, when you link up with your support team and plug it, it looks like just a few squiggly lines. And those squiggly lines are pretty cool. All right. We covered this stuff last week. We only do 4 things as Optavia coaches. And everything leads into it. We talked about awakening clients last week, and it was really, really good. This week, we're going to talk a little bit about supporting clients. We're going to cover that over the next 2 weeks. But really, so those are the 2 things we're going to cover today, supporting clients. And again, last week, we did a poll, and we're like, where do clients come from? Where did your last 2 to 3 clients come from? And an overwhelming amount just came from Living Out Loud, from posts, and people that reached out that never expected. So one of the things we're going to cover today is how do you link it from someone that's interested out and about on social media, messages, comments, whichever, and how do you make that link to an integrated client? Because there's a very particular thing that you can do that sets you up for success. And I don't know about you, but I want to set up everyone that is in my world for success on programs. So if I just knew what those things were, I would do them. And then when you do them, they work, by the way. But Tim and Kelly are going to drop some really good knowledge bombs on that. And Kenny's also going to talk about it. So I'm trying to move quickly here, because I want to spend a few minutes on this subject, you guys. All right, drop me a 2 in the chat if you have your map, even if it's not filled out yet, and a connections list with you today. I'm going to pause on that because I want to make sure you guys are set up for success. Okay, wow, it's like 1 million 2s. Like, oh my gosh, amazing. All right, perfect. Of course you guys are, because you guys are here today. You guys are doing the do. I'm very happy to tell you that that's what success looks like. So what does it look like to set up a month for success? Does anyone ever wonder that? Like, okay, gosh, Lori, that sounded so cool, but what is it? What does she actually do? Steve and Lisa, like, what did they mean? Oh, like, Amber, just on fire at the next level, like after ranks and stuff. What does that look like? Well, this is what it looks like really looks like. And I loved her question. Like, Susan, I'm thinking about you when we had that conversation with Amber. She's like, okay, guys, really, what are the things that I really have to make sure are rocks in my schedule? And so this is what it really looks like. So first off, having that map, and I'm going to give you guys the premise of it, is this is your goals. These are your creation. This is what you're focusing on. This is what drives your family. This is your passion. This is your purpose. And this tool right here helps you put rocket fuel behind it. And I love this little thing here. It's kind of a twist on one that I've always kind of followed on, which is if you just keep staying consistent, you're going to find success. But there's also another facet to it, is don't look at anyone else. You can draw inspiration off of other people, but I want you guys to be so focused on what you're doing that there's nothing else in your eyesight. Does that make sense? Susan, you look like you want to add something great to this.
Nope, just leaning in to learn.
Okay, well, I know you could. So what does it look like to start off the month strong? So I thought, and you know what, sorry, Danae, I didn't even ask for permission on this, so I should have, but you let me share this before, so I just assumed, but I should never assume. But anyways, guys, like this is what it really looks like. I could show you a map, but I want to show you what a real map looks like. What does it really look like? So Danae and DJ had one of the biggest growth percentages last month, and that's not a comparative to anyone else. They're just doing the do, and the action just resulted in it. And I know I can brag on a million other people, but they eked out a few different things that have the highest growth. And this is what it really looks like behind the scenes. And she shared a little bit the other week with DJ about what it looks like to awaken. And this is really her connections list. She's really sowing the seed. She's really doing her 3x3x3. And I want to move this screen here so you can see her map real quick. This is really her map. It's not this month. This is last July, but success leaves clues. Like her volume is way beyond that. And I believe this is actually the month she went into mega big thinkers from doing the do. You can see that there's intention. You can feel the heart in what you see here, right? Can you guys, when you look at this map, can you feel like that she's focused? This is for her. This is clarity. Like this is beautiful. Great, clear goals. Where you are currently at the bottom, like what did your month end up at tangibly? You can't know where you're going to go if you don't know where you are. And then tangible finish line. And you're going to want to work with your support team to figure out exactly what that is. And I'll go over those steps here at the very end. But this has people. You can almost feel the heartbeat behind it. Like I also love filling out the map because it's just a clarity. You should be smiling as you fill out your map. You should be thinking about your clients and the breakthrough and the potential you see in them and the potential you see for them as they awaken, and you know what's ahead of them. It's your chance to like get your heart compass on point as you start the month. Not only for growth in your business, not only for growth, because most people, I will tell you, most people don't create more growth in their business because they just can't comprehend it. I probably would say my number one job is going around saying, hey, did you guys know that this growth could happen? And they're like, no, that's no way it could happen. I bet you. I go, I bet you if you do X, Y, Z, it'll happen. And then it happens. And they're like, how'd you know it was going to happen? It's because I know it's possible. Because if you just, one, I have great mentorship and I just listen to them. But if you know what's possible, you can generally get there. It's like if I know I need to be at a certain address in Portland, Oregon tomorrow, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'll probably find a way to get there. So that's why the top one's so key. And I find a lot of people don't naturally know how to do that. Maybe because they're not natural goal setters, or maybe it's because they just have been hurt in the past by setting goals. I don't know if that's you. That was me at some points in my life. But I'm encourage you to embrace it, like Lori was talking about. So that's what a map looks like. What does it look like by the end of the month? So I grabbed the end of the month because Danae and DJ really do these steps that I'm about to share with you. But it looks, a messy map is a good map. It should be going with you everywhere. It should be highlighted. There should be coffee spills on it, like in Danae's space. Example, there should be like baby food all over it. But it should there should be action and heart injected into it. I love it because this is her real July map. And anyway, she blew her goals out of the water because the action was there. But you see how it looks throughout the month. So here are some key things as you guys go through this month that I want to leave you with, that if you're like, okay, I know how to set up a map. Okay, I'm going to work on that connections list. Okay, that's really important. Okay, apparently it's really important because I don't know about you. Sometimes I'm like, is it really that important? Do I really need to do that? Anyone a rule breaker here? Me? Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are like me. But this is what it looks like. And here's what a map, using your map well, and what success looks like. Like I talked about, where you are currently, and where you want to go. That's the key. That's structural tension, by the way. That's what we teach people with our program. The reason why we help people break through in health is because we ask them questions. And Susan's going to go over this later. Where are they at? Most people aren't even aware of where they're currently at. And most people don't even know where they want to go. And again, if you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. So here's just some tips. What /why. I'm going to actually move my screen here so I can see the things on the left here. And I'm a why asker. That's why I put why. Why does this make the difference? So the first thing is just knowing that a 5-in-1 business is you can go faster, you can go slower. No, like the only person that you meant to be working with and moving forward with is yourself. So again, we appreciate you guys all just here because it's all of us working together that change so many lives, that make this proof that people should trust the process of getting optimally healthy with Optavia. So just wanted you guys to know wherever you're at, we're just glad you're here. But a messy map is a good map, and you want to work it every single day. What you focus on is what you create. What you feed will grow, what you starve will die, and just taking action makes the difference. Clear intentions that matter to you. I wish I could have had time to grab Lisa Yeakley's map, because she always writes down the most beautiful things at the top of her map that matter most to her. So you know that everything that drives her business is also driving her life. So feel free to put stickers on it, or things that matter most to you, or your health routine, or like what you're working on with your spouse, or, anyways, I'm gonna go, I don't want to go over on time because I want to be able to get to all the stuff today, but clear intentions. Top 10 coach candidates. So do you see over here on Danae's? She has that. Besides your list, you should be able to feel like, okay, who do I know that I see potential and who's getting started? I bet you some of them aren't even people you're thinking about this month and you're being consistent, but you should probably also know this month, like, who's going to get healthy. You should be like calling your shot. You should be like Kobe Bryant, or I don't know if he's ever called a shot, but or whatever sports term you want to use, call in your shot on this person's getting healthy with confidence, or this person's going to be ready to pay it forward. The key at the start of the month is sharing it with your support team. And I want to preface this as I kind of wrap this part up here, is share a picture with your support team. You don't report it to them. They're not your boss. You're not turning in an assignment. And what's funny is, and just to kind of give you the key, is I can always tell when someone's turning it in because the heart's just not there. I can feel it with that. And I can feel when someone's owned their stuff. And there's no judgment on that. This is a skill in itself, but the map should be for you, for your own clarity, and it should not be an assignment. It's your own compass of your own success. You are the boss of yourself in this business. And what really makes the difference, really, not just like, hey, Brad, you're just saying this, it really is present. I really went and grabbed these maps from Danae and DJ's support there, because she really shared it on the first of the month, and she really shared it on the middle of the month. Is sharing it with a picture with your support team, saying what your intention is for this month and maybe what you need help with. And if you're in the group of people moving to executive director or moving to big thinkers, grab a quick 10 to 20 minutes of just time to pour into you, time to highlight some of the things on the path ahead to be aware of. That's how that squiggly line goes from all kinds of squiggly to oh, okay, I just had to practice that. I just didn't have it down yet. So that's really what makes a difference. So promise me here, drop me a 3 in the chat if you promise that you've either done this or you promise to do it before the 5th of the month. I see everyone taking notes, so you might need a second to actually put a 5 in the chat. Okay, there's plenty of 5s now. All right, as I wrap up here, use it in your weekly check-ins. These highlights are Danae going through before she calls all of her clients and highlighting who's placed their order and filling in the premier amount. That is magic, because it helps you without having to worry about or asking or be the order taker, because we're going to go over this next month, is it helps you know where your clients are at. I can tell where my clients are at by their order, or at least gives me enough clues to ask questions that help me show up better in their world. Plus, it helps me inspect my business. Let's be smart CEOs here if we want to grow. It doesn't happen by accident, but this is mostly a heart check. It's simultaneous. And then that way, as you're going through the month, you can make sure that no one gets lost. Oh, hey, look at here. There's something over the screen here. Colleen Jones or whoever, or they didn't place, this wasn't the end of the month, but they oh, did they place their order? Did they move it? Oh, they did, because it made sense, but you'll be able to step into their world a little bit more. You can coach better. If you want to know what the difference is, it's this transactional feeds the transformational, which feeds the transactional, which feeds the growth. So that's what it really looks like. Full orders on the front for your full ordering clients. So that way, you don't have to worry about what rank you're going to hit or what volume. You just got to help the people. Put partials and maintenance clients on the back, or potential, or you're not very sure. If they go on the front of your map, you're 90% sure they're rocking it with their health journey. You know their journey, and they're going to continue moving through. And then the biggest magic is assess the pulse middle of the month. If I was trying to get to that address in Portland, Oregon from Miami, you better know that I'm halfway through tomorrow. I'm going to check where I actually got to, so I know how much further I'm going, so I can re-aim on finishing where I want to be at by the end of the month. So with that being said, you guys, that's the difference makers. I'm going to turn it over to Tim and Kelly here in a second, but I want you guys to be very clear. Remember the steps that we went over, because week 1 we went over the steps. If it's senior coach, your focus is senior coach. If you're a new senior coach, I'm going to click these slides really fast. Your next step is associate director or director. If you're already there, then your next step is blended path ED. If you're one of the 20 people that went ED last month, your next step, or you're at 5 points, is to go to 8 to 9 points, like a big thinkers club. And then moving over big thinkers, I'm going quick on this, and you can watch the original training if you're not really clear on this, because that's what feeds to the growth of helping other people. In leadership ranks, there's no secrets to success. And if you do the steps, like I can't remember, someone was saying earlier, Lori, it doesn't take more time to grow. It just means more impact into your life and other people's lives. So with that being said, I already went a couple minutes over. I'm going to turn it over to Tim and Kelly, because they're going to bring us back to. So hope you guys sat down on that. We're going to have some time afterwards to ask some questions. The work time today is going to be on asking questions, because I'm sure you're going to have some from your notes from Susan, Shane, going over the health assessment, Kelly, Tim, bringing it to the phone, and setting up your month for success. So feel free to write these things down. That's what we're going to spend our time on. But we're going to go back into where we were in flow. We've already covered how to grow. We've covered how to show up and awaken people. Danae, DJ, and everyone last week, Lindsay blew it out of the water. We covered getting a really solid routine and rhythm that creates this and fuels our best life. This week, we're going to show you how to take the awakening into supporting and what sets people up for success. And I'm sure you guys want to know that, because that's all I wanted to know when I got started. How do I do this? So with that being said, that's where we finished up last week. I'm going to turn it over to Tim and Kelly so they can drop knowledge on how do we take someone that's interested into awakening and into their optimal health journey. So Tim and Kelly, turn it over to you.
Hey, thanks, Brad. We are so excited. We are here at 10X in Miami, still in Florida. We're not going anywhere in this weather, but we are so excited to be here and share some of the things that have worked for us and our team. And so I'm going to let Tim jump in and start. And we're just going to share some cool things that we know systematically work. What everybody has said is true. Lean into the system and lean into the process. And it's just like the 5-in-1, like Amber said. So we're going to share here some things that we know have worked for us and for our team. So go ahead, Tim.
All right. Hey, first and foremost, man, congratulations, everybody, for just being here, being on this call, and investing in yourselves. You know, I know it's kind of early for some of y'all, but this is a great way to kick off your month. But we're going to talk a little bit about, bringing it to the phone. But before we do, well, actually, drop a 1 in the chat if you're consistently, posting, starting conversations, doing that 3-3-3. And if you're not, if you can't drop a 1 in there, then don't worry about it, because today's going to be a perfect day to start.
And the airplane's moving very quickly.
So, but one thing is, and the reason I brought that up, because one thing is, if you're consistent with posting and commenting and starting conversations, then you're going to get into a lot of conversations. You're going to get a lot of questions asked of you. And so language matters. It really, really matters. So, so before we talk a little bit about the skill set of bringing it to the phone, we want to talk about the mindset that actually sets up the skill set. So remember, we don't tell and sell, we share and we care. So as we go into, and that's just the mindset, because as we go into each and every conversation, the goal of the conversation is starting a relationship. That's such a key mindset perspective, that when we go into the conversation to start a relationship, because the relational point of the relational point is actually it's the actual starting point of the conversation, and that's how you bring it to the phone. So and when we do that, then the win becomes the conversation. It's not the instead of the conversation being about Optavia or being about starting a client, the win actually becomes the conversation. You see how one way creates stress, and another way there's no stress at all. It's just connecting with people. Drop me a 2 in the chat if you can actually feel the difference there, because that is that was a real game changer for me when I let go of the stress of bringing on clients and just want to connect authentically with people. And I have a couple quick examples here. There was the first one. There's a gal that she was just liking all my before and afters, and I've known her for a long time. She's very unhealthy, and so I just reached out and thanked her. But I also left her with a question to bring the conversation, to start that conversation. Just asked her about her family, and then that helped me to actually have coffee with her and bring her on as a client and help her to get healthy. Another one of our coaches had shared another example. Sorry about the planes. Another example, but about somebody messaged her and said, "Hey, can you help?" Yes, absolutely. When can we talk? Like that's the posturing of positivity. And yes, we can help. When can we talk? And when, you know, we hear a lot about consistency. And the reason I want to share this next one is because this is a gentleman that I've known most of my life. I've never seen him comment. I've never seen him like. I've never seen him do anything on my posts or anything at all. And then he sends me my post and says, "This guy is me." And that's key, because that's why we share so many other success stories, because people can see themselves. They want to see themselves in being healthy. And so I love what he actually said. He goes, "I've been following you now for about a year. Never knew it. Never knew it. We just keep showing up and being consistent." And this last one here, somebody asked, you know, another one of our coaches, somebody asked if they could send some information. And I loved her response here. We have a website for our clients. When can we talk? You know, it's that simple. So, so it's very important for us to not give away the how before we offer the gift of awakening. I just want that to sink in. We don't give away the how before offering the gift of awakening. You know, we don't send websites. We don't talk about, eating 6 times a day. We don't write a lot of, big novel about our success. And so, and we sure don't answer questions that they haven't asked. And the reason I bring those up, because I did all those things. Sorry, it's true. I did. I learned from them, and moving forward and just making authentic connections is the game changer. So be mindful in those messages to not overshare. You know, the goal is to bring them to the phone, because the only way we can awaken their dreams is with a conversation. We can't do it in messages. That'll never happen, folks. We just have to connect with them, listen to them, allow them to be heard, and then awaken their dreams. So can you just kind of feel, can you see how that's a much more compelling message than talking about a diet, talking about weight loss? It's literally just connecting with them and awakening through dreams. And we have, I asked Kenny to come in and share with us a little bit today, because he does this so well. He gets into a lot of conversations. He connects authentically with people. And so Kenny, would you come off mute and just kind of share just a couple minutes on how you do that?
Absolutely, Tim, Kelly. Thanks, guys, for having me on this morning. It's an absolute pleasure. I've got a group of people upstairs. We're having a retreat at Lake Anna for the Willamette organization. So we've got 20 people upstairs, Brad. So add that to your participant list. They're on the other internet connection, trying not to slow things down. So bringing it to the phone, guys, this is my deal. One thing I've got to tell you guys, especially new coaches, guys, don't be a secret agent. If you don't post and share that you're out there and you're doing this, you're a secret agent, people don't know, your phone's not going to ring. It's quite that simple. You come out of that closet that you're a health coach, put that post out there, 25 minutes later, bam, you've got 15 messages and 25 likes, and your business coach is going, yeah, and you're going, I don't know what I'm going to do. So take a deep breath and relax, okay? The job of bringing it from a PM to the phone is basically 3 things: compelling, intriguing, and inviting them to a call. We want to share from our hearts. We want to be authentic, but we definitely want to intrigue them, and we want to do this a little differently. Optavia is a little different, just like I talked about before we started. I came from other businesses. Optavia is a little different. So we're not all about selling and telling. It's about sharing and caring. So you get that private message. What is this program you're doing? And if it's on Facebook, go in there, PM sent, go to Messenger, pop up on there. Hey, Bill, I'd be honored to share about this program and give you some ideas about it. I would love to discuss it with you. It's too much information to put into a private message. I want to see your goals and see how it can be a fit for you. Do you have time this evening at either 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Send me your phone number, which time works for you. Send that bad boy out. Don't complicate it. It's just like you're in a grocery store. You turn the corner with your cart and bam, I bump into Tim. Hey, Tim, how you doing, man? And then he says, hey, how have you lost all this weight? hey, give me your phone number. Let's connect this evening. Go about your way. Don't spend 30 minutes in a grocery store talking about the program. Get them to the phone. So that's what we've got. That's the biggest thing that I can, is share out there is, guys, make sure that you just be authentic and lay it out there. One other thing, just like I said, when that post is on Facebook, go back to that post on Facebook where you put that PM sent. People are watching that are on Facebook. They may not comment, like, or do a thing, and they're going, this guy's got 47 comments and he's going PM sent. What is going on? We call it fear of missing out. So guess what? You'll either get another comment on Facebook saying, hey, what's the program? Or guess what? You get another private message. That's another way to take it to the phone. This is where the rubber meets the road, guys. Lean into your mentorship team. I cannot emphasize that enough. Just like I said before we started today, lean into your mentorship team and make it happen. They've got a PDF they'll send to you. And I mean, the way I do it is not the way everybody does it, but just be very compelling and intriguing and inviting when you do that PM. That way you can take it to the health assessment. With that said, guys, it's been a pleasure this morning. I'm going to turn it over to Steve and Lisa. And I'm sorry, Susan and Shane is going to take it to the health assessment. So go ahead, guys.
Actually, I get to follow you, Kenny, because I am so happy for you. And I tell you what, guys, Kenny does a lot of health assessments, man. He is on it, and you can see why he runs a really high frontline volume. So thanks, Kenny, so much. And, just to wrap up this section, I wanted to just give a couple of little actual verbiage for what we can do in bringing it to the phone so that you can have some actual takeaways. And what I'd love to see, if I can, there we go. Oh. No, there we go. So, when they ask, and like Kenny said, when they ask, in Facebook Messenger, in the grocery store, whatever, happy to reach out. Or is it for you? Is it for someone else? These are just actual tangibles, and we can make sure you get all these slides because Tim and Kenny hit it out of the park. I mean, and it's just so much fun because it's about building trust and relationship. And if you haven't gotten that yet, please write down those two words because it's about building trust and relationship in 360 with your mentorship, with your clients, with your potential clients. And that's where you build these new relationships to get them going. And so that's what this is about. So, just grab, like Kenny said, grab 15, 20 minutes when we can talk about you. Remembering, you're not asking them to marry you. You're only asking them like on a first date. This is not that big of a deal. You just want to get to know them more and what they're looking for. So do that, just offer that up. When they answer with, things like, I'm too busy for a call. Can you just please send me information? I don't know, put a 5 in the chat if you've ever said, can you just send me your website or send me your website? Can I just get some information? What's the name of the program? You know what? Here's the deal. And I'm going to talk over this airplane, so I apologize again. But you know what? This is important stuff because we don't, as Tim said, we don't want to give them the how before we know their why. This is really important. We can give out a website. It's not going to make sense for what they're looking for because we don't know the heart and the emotions that is attached to their journey. As you know, as you gain clients and you've been experiencing Optavia from the coaching level, this is an intimate subject. This is about them. This is not just weight loss. And we know that. That's why we're not a diet. So dig in, kind of put your foot in draw your line in the sand and say, you know what? I'm protecting you by not sharing a lot because I want you to have exactly what you want for what you're looking to achieve. Okay. So remember those things in some of these messages to just get them into a conversation and onto the phone. So the one thing that if they don't, say you get an appointment, the health assessment, Susan's going to go over this. I mean, she's a rock star at it. She's taught me so much as well. But what if they don't show up for that first call? What about the follow-up? You're still building a relationship, right? So don't panic, right? You were only asking them on the first day. They didn't leave you at the altar. So take that energy. Maybe it just fell off the radar. Assume the best and go with some great messages. Hey, I'm sorry we missed our time. I hope everything's okay. I would love to just find a time that's going to work for you. There's a few other examples here. You can see them. And if there's, this is a layering. Brad, we've all learned that some people, it takes 5, 7, 10 times. You heard Lori earlier. She's been layering on people for 6 months. So this is about building the relationship, guys. Don't be afraid of building new relationships. I know, I bet you if you put a 7 in here, because that's my favorite number, because you have gained relationship by allowing your coach initially to find out more about you. So put that in your mind when you're starting to help people. You want to get to know them, and they can come into our community like you've been blessed by having this community around you, okay? So with that, just commit to follow up and layer value. This is what it's about. layer value, keep your hundreds list fresh, use that 3, 3, and 3 intentionally, but layer value. Don't push people, be patient. You know, this is about the heart. We can't help them without getting into a conversation and finding the heart of what they're really looking for, because we want lifelong transformations. So build those trusting relationships. And as Tim pointed out in one of his messages, in their message, keep it an open-ended question that they need to answer you or want to answer you, because that's how you have that open door to keep that layering going. So leaving it with, you know what, I would love to know what you think of this recipe. If you make it, will you show me a picture? Hey, we're having another call, and I don't know if you saw it, but here's the trilogy that we, had the other night, or Habits of Health. What story stood out to you most? Layering with value and keeping that door open is where you're going to build those clients. And so as I'm showing you a blank screen, I'll stop sharing. And that's what we got for you guys. So Susan, please teach us your ways on the health assessment, and we are just excited to be here.
I'm going to jump in real quick and introduce Susan real quick on this. First of all, you guys, we don't have an hour cap on this call. This call is going to probably go 8:05. I'm going to encourage you, if you have something planned at 8, do not miss what Susan's about to share. If you guys want, all the slides will be up. I'm not a real big fan of going back and rewatching trainings because I'm all about action. Action's where growth. But I can tell you, I'm going to go back and listen to Tim and Kelly and Kenny right now. That was absolute magic. And if you need help with some of those things, there's actually a document in the files section of the Health Coach page called Bringing It to the Phone, where it literally has like a layout of how to navigate anyone's question. But be confident enough in what people's health journey is going to look like to take the conversation wherever it is to the place where Susan's going to cover right now, where the magic happens. So I'm going to resist the urge to say how awesome Susan is for like 5 minutes and just turn it over to her. She's going to blow your minds, and then we'll have some time after the call if you want to ask her even more questions on it. So Susan, blow the minds.
Okay. Good morning. First of all, you guys Tim, Kelly, Kenny teed me up beautifully. If you're doing that, you are going to be setting up health assessments like a boss. I mean, it's going to blow your mind how many people are really hungry for that connection. And I think what I love, and I want you to embrace our uniqueness of how Optavia, this is what differentiates us. I'm going to talk about the health assessment today, but it's what differentiates us from everything else out there. Everything. So everybody else will send a website going for the sale or just want to get somebody. That is not who we are. And when you really embrace that is what really differentiates us, and you don't compromise what you know to be true to really serve that. Trust me, if something else worked better, we'd be doing that. But we're not doing that because this is what actually works. And so yes, go back, listen to that. I got to share my screen here. To everything about really bringing it to a phone, because this is where the magic happens. All right, it's our first impression, right? Is being able to take time to hear what people want and are looking for in their life. And sometimes the questions you ask is maybe the first time they've even thought of it that way. They're so focused on what they don't want, the extra weight, how they're feeling. And it's the first time they've actually been like, I've actually never thought about what I want. And so again, that creates so much trust and relationship building. So when Brad asked me to train on this subject, I was like, I think I literally did a fist pull down. I was like, yes, because I love doing health assessments. This makes my day. I'm going to bring you, I probably do have 18 minutes or so of material in my brain. Okay. So it may go even 10 after, but we've had a lot of great trainings on the didactical side of it. Hey, here's here's following the flow. I want to bring you into my mind today. Okay. And prepare you for success. So first of all, it's showing up with the posture and the confidence. And so it's really slowing down before that call. I honestly, if you need to put a little sticky note on your computer, be like, I can help them. How exciting is that you don't even know what they want yet or what they need, but you know in your bones, you can help them. And then also that you have the goods. Say that to yourself before you get on that call. It's I can help them. I have the goods. When you get on that call, the energy is up. Because it's all about how can I serve you? you know, and I'm so excited because if they're going to take 20 minutes of their time, they are looking for something. Do you believe that? They're not just doing a call for funsies. They're looking for something. So our goal is to show up and make that match and help them. Okay. So in my mind, I'm also always thinking that everything I'm doing from that call is going to be duplicated. Why? Because it's in their best interest to join our community at a deeper level and coach one day. And so I want to speak to time because I'm a very long-winded human being. And so my time, I used to go on and on thinking I was just serving them more by giving them more time. But here's what I found has been highly successful is that people, you know, time is their biggest, gift too. And so really respecting people's time. And I feel like really efficient, effective health assessment is about 20 to 30 minutes. And what's cool is our phone times us. Have you ever looked at your phone when you're on a phone call and you're like, I've been on here 32 minutes, right? So you can actually learn to like kind of watch your time. I want to encourage you because we talked a little bit about structure. Lori talked about it in the beginning about, setting up her schedule. I time block 45 minutes in my schedule on the front end of the week. I don't even know who's going in those spots yet, but I'm making time in my schedule because I know I am going to be setting up health assessments. So it's about having that confidence back to like, I'm going to do enough connections this week, do everything Tim and Kelly and Kenny talked about bringing them to the phone so that I actually have spots to actually, fill them in. And why I say 45 minutes is because I know they're going to say yes. And so it's a 30-minute call, but I'm giving my time on the back end to facilitate their order and go through the steps of actually setting them up well. And so it's like knowing what it looks like to build a growing business. This is the bread and butter of what we do. If you take the time on the front end, you will have a client forever. You will have referrals and coaches coming, continuously coming from this. And so we do not want to skimp or, on what it's really going to take to build the business that you really, really want. So make it personal and conversational. Yes, there's a flow to these, but have fun. I think video and phone, like no texting, we have found that does not work. I mean, they may sign up, but then they cancel month 2. If that's ever happened to you, just put I don't know where we're at, 6 in the chat. It happened because there's no relationship there. They don't understand the components of the program. They don't understand the longevity. Like, you will not build long-term clients. Is that just a really bold statement? You won't, and you definitely will not bring on coaches because then what will happen is everything duplicates. So if you're doing that, if they do choose to coach, they're going to do what you did. And it's just, guys, just start right from the beginning. Just cannot stress that enough. So your tools are the health assessment. I'm going to show you pictures of these later in the PowerPoint, and also our guidelines and our program considerations form. I have these right next to my computer at all times. I have them a copy of, extra copies. And my encouragement to you is, Brad talked to the map. So whatever number you put as new clients, so if you actually want to drop, okay, so let me just give you a little mindset piece here. If your goal was to bring on 5 clients in February, I want you to go print 10 health assessments right now and get obsessed about filling out 10 health assessments. The sooner the better. And so it's about doing the activity that we know is going to give you the outcome you desire. And if you really want to track it so that your support team can really assist you, is at the top of your map, keep a little tally about how many health assessments you're doing. Because if your desire is to really awaken and start 5 clients, doing only 3 health assessments is most likely not going to get you to your goal. I'm not like that great at math, but I'm pretty sure that math doesn't quite add up. So really being clear, if like this is my goal, what activity do I need to do to achieve the goals that I have? And then track it and set up today at the beginning of the month, fully obsessed and prepared for it, and make the time in your schedule, for it. So if that's a 45-minute time block for every single afternoon over the next 2 weeks, knowing you're going to get obsessed about filling those times, you will show up with different energy and intention in your day to fill it. Does that all make sense? So that's my mindset about what I want to create. Okay, so my goal on a health assessment is to build relationship and trust.
because once that happens, it's like game over, right? Long term. Like, have you ever had just like such a great like connection at the beginning of a call? And it's like, even if things get wonky or they have whatever, it's like, you just remember like that first impression is so important. And if you keep it fun and they enjoy your time with you, they're going to answer your calls week to week. Okay. Best tips. I promise I'm going to get to all the details. I'm going to start with all the stuff that was like pouring in my brain is, when after you have awakened, this is like, and found out what they want, I'm making a recommendation based on their goals. And how I posture that is they will share with me, and I kind of recap. So what I'm hearing, so 95% of people do start on the 5 and 1. But I want to give you guys a little mind tweak is I don't posture it that like our program is the 5 and 1. I posture that based on the goals that you share with me, I would recommend our optimal weight 5 and 1 program. Being that fat loss or weight loss, whatever term you like to use, is your primary goal, this program is going to be the most efficient, safe, effective form of fat loss for you. And so this is where we're going to start. What that postures is that we have multiple programs beyond the 5 and 1. And sometimes I even say there's other programming, but this is where I recommend that we start. And what that does is there's no client for me that quits the program because they couldn't follow the 5 and 1, because they already heard there's other ways to program it. This was just the first recommendation. So if you're getting a lot of clients that are, okay. If you're getting a lot of clients, that's just like a mindset piece and maybe a skill set to check. So that's just a little tip for you. I always explain their next steps. So I'm either facilitating the order or I'm setting a time for follow-up. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later. I also always, if they're a yes, explain what my coaching looks like. I let them know that my clients that are most successful connect with me for 5 to 10 minutes every single week on the phone. I wanna be most successful, so I'm gonna do that. And I also let them know that that's what it's going to look like. So when I'm giving you guys like the high level mindset on the back end of like, my clients won't talk to me week to week. Well, did they know that's what it was going to look like? Did they know that was the expectation? So it's just something to kind of go back and fine tune your health assessments. Are you setting them up for success and being super clear about what it's going to look like moving forward? And if you're new, and I know there's some new people, so welcome. I'm Susan, by the way, and I know I'm really high energy, but I'm super passionate about what we do and what we get to do every day. So you are going to do these with, you're going to watch these done for you. You're going to do them with, they're going to watch you do. We're all about the transfer of skill sets. So utilize your support team to learn this really, really well. And the faster you do them, the better you're going to get. If I went to your house 6 months ago and I've driven there once, I'm going to have to ask you directions on how to get there again because I do not remember. That was 6 months ago. But if I've been to your house every single day this last week, I will probably remember how to get there 6 months from now. So it is about kind of creating those neural pathways. And then finding the match of what they're looking for. Okay, so this is going to be, we show up because many of us come in through the front door of I wanted to create a healthier body. Like I wanted to lose weight. So when we're showing up to health assessment, we're hearing how much weight did they want to lose. But I am going to encourage you guys to start really truly using your ears of what are they truly looking for. So through that awakening questioning process, I'm finding out, are they looking for more accountability? Are they looking for more structure, support, more time, less stress, job satisfaction, finances, freedom, community, long-term health? Are you fully putting your antennas up to hear what is it? What are they really, really looking for so that they can make long-term change? This is going to revolutionize your health assessments because we all know if they're only focused on weight, right? They'll either reach their weight loss goals and then they're gone, or they don't. That's never what it's all about for anybody, right? If it was all about weight for you, like if it wasn't all about weight for you, put that in the chat, right? You thought that's what it was, but you didn't know there were deeper levels. So it's our job to kind of peel back that onion. And I don't jump in and be like, you should coach. It's not that. But when I do approach them about exploring coaching, I go back to this. You know, you shared with me that you were looking for more accountability in your journey because now I can use like what they've shared with me. It makes the invite very, very personal. So make notes about this on your health assessment. Okay, simple steps, guys. And we've been through this, so I'm going to run through this relatively quick. But again, back to time. Welcome, set the tone. Know the call is really about them. Make them feel comfortable. I do try to keep this to 1 to 2 minutes. Even if it's my Aunt Sally and I haven't talked to her in 10 years, I'll say, oh my gosh, we have so much to catch up on over time. But like, I'm just so glad you reached out. Like, let's get into it. Like, tell me a little bit about like, where you're at in your health, and we'll go from there. And I kind of do bring and refocus it back to like why we were setting up that call in the first place. So I follow the flow of the outline. It's really finding out the why before the how. And that's why we're bringing these conversations to the phone, because we're not giving the how before we really know what they want. And we're just asking awakening questions and weaving our like story in. And we don't, we weave our story in not because the call's about us. We weave our story in to be relational, to show connection, right? That's that whole building trust. Oh my gosh, I felt like that too. You know, those kinds of things where they're like, she gets me, you know, like she gets me. And so that's where we're kind of weaving it in, not talking all about our story, but being able to share pieces of our story that will either inspire them or connect us to them. Okay, this is what Brad was talking about at the beginning of the call, and you're going to laugh because Shane just went up and got me a little silver platter because I joke about this being my little, I'm going to give you a question. And it's going to give you a silver platter into like, here's what I want, okay? So before I really move into that recommendation, I will just ask him, you know, like, so what do you feel is your biggest obstacle in achieving this goal? And they will tee you up with exactly what they need, because the whole point of the call is to make the match. What are they looking for? And they tell me they're looking for more structure. They tell me they're looking for like a coach or accountability. They tell me they don't like to cook. And they don't want to meal prep. They tell me that they don't have time to like, make goals their focus. They tell me. And then all I do is like, when I'm sharing the 4 components and the match, I'm like, I can solve your problems, honey. Like, I got you. And so it just tees me up beautifully. So I share the components. So this first portion, welcome and awakening, I would encourage you guys, look at your phone. It should be about no more than 15 minutes before you're really making that recommendation that the Optimal Weight 5-in-1 program is going to be the best fit for what they're looking for, okay? And then you'll share the components in about 3 minutes. And this, as you can honestly read right from the script if you need to kind of fine tune it. But keep it short. They don't need all the info if they're clear on what they want and you're making that match, okay? I present the cost. Got to look at my time. Okay, I present the cost before. And you can do it your own way, but I'm going to share what I do is I go right into just like based on what I'm recommending, right? That I just share the cost of what it's going to look like. So, hey, so I think, most people, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start with a month of, fuel. You'll have all your habits of health material. You'll have me as your health coach. I'm going to plug you into all the community and the support pieces. All of that for their first 30 days is going to be $390 to $250. And I just like move through it. It's not a big deal. I would rather just say it, because if I don't, it's almost like becoming a concept for me. And it's not. My value is there. Like, what we've got is like amazing. If I wait till they ask me, if you're waiting till they ask you, like, why make them do that, guys? Don't make them do that. No one likes to have to ask how much things cost, right? So just let them know, like, what it's going to look like. And then I ask what questions that they have. And very likely I don't have any questions. If anything, they maybe, it's just little fine-tuned things and any clarifications, and then I invite them to get started. So I'm going to show you, what's going on here? Just a couple pictures, and thank you, Brad. Brad helps me to like prepare. He's like, people need visuals, and I'm like, they do. So I want you to really look. Have you really read through the health assessment, guys? Have you really read through like the pieces? So here's your questions, and you're finding out where are they at currently and where do they want to be in their health? What is their biggest obstacle? How I answer part 2 on the daily routines. My favorite question is just like, hey, walk me through a day in the life of Brad Miller. Like, I kind of joke about it. And then I'll say, just your typical day, sleep, exercise, food, like, tell me a little bit about that. And they pretty much touch on all of it. I don't have to ask and go into all the clinical details, but I do like to check to see, one, is they, do they have a good understanding of their own current reality? Because sometimes they're telling me they're eating like, drinking a green drink and they're doing this at lunch, and they only have organic this, but yet they just shared with me they have 100 pounds to lose. And I know something, there's not a match there, right? But it's just like, I want to just get a good gauge of where can I help them? And then we kind of, I don't make a big deal about the health considerations, but it's usually like, is there anything like that I should know about, once they say yes, if they didn't share it in the beginning, anything I should know about your health that you think would pose a, concern, or anything that we should check into, prior to us just getting started on the program. So I don't, again, go into like, do you have high blood pressure? Yeah, okay. That's just me personally. Okay, a bold invitation. My goodness. About 3 minutes. I told you I had 18 minutes of material, so I'm going to honor that. Is great. Like, when they're ready, all I need to do is set you up. People need to know what the next step is, guys. And it's just, I need their billing and shipping information. And it's like, I'm just like, I'm going to take care of the rest. Like, I'm going to take care of you. Like, I got you, right? I gather all their information and I let them know there, like when there is, what those next steps are. And I already spoke to that. And so I'm preparing them for success, and I'm super hyper clear. I also layer that there's 2 paths. You're either, hey, I'm going to pose a little bit of a problem for you because everyone's going to notice, and people are going to sense not just your energy, but they're going to eventually notice the physical transformation too. And I'm happy to coach any of your friends and family. But you also may want to like explore what that looks like to help them like together. It's really, really fun. And we can talk about that down the road. Do you guys see, like, it's not like you're going to be a health coach. It's just, it's going to be one of the 2. You choose. Just a little placing it in there. Order their essential kit plus their habits of health material. It's $392.15. And I showed this to Brad. He's like, you should show that. Because you guys think after 9 years, I've got it all like, figured out. Well, believe it or not, I have a little checklist on the front of my binder with like the 5 steps I have to do after because that's why I leave that 15-minute time block. I'm going to read you what I have on my little sticky note because I read it every time I'm like, health assessment. I have to still confirm, like, did I write everything on health assessment and did I put in the appropriate binder? 2, facilitate their order. 3, send message 1. 4, welcome to my client community page. And 5, schedule my daily text campaign. I just have to mentally go, okay, great, done. And now I can move on. So I would, just giving you that as a little, like, if that helps you. Add them to your community page, welcome them in. And then right on the very, very back of this, is, if not yet, great verbiage on how to, like how to follow up. And I will probably get to follow up later in this boot camp series because this is a huge key in what we do. But just understanding they're either going to say yes, they're a yes or a not yet. Nobody's ever a no. And my encouragement to you is why I love this, because I show up going, I can help you. Like, I got you. I have the goods. I'm going to solve your problems today. You don't know it yet, but that's what I got going on. But I desire for that conversation to leave them better 30 minutes later. That's really my only goal. It's kind of like, Tim, you talked about the win is the conversation. The win for me is that I maybe made their day. I gave them one little piece of hope. I sure hope they're ready. Maybe this is their path, and I'm going to welcome them boldly to get started. But people will not remember everything you say on that call, but they will remember how you feel. And I can give you promise that 9 years later, there are people coming back 5 years later, remembering that first conversation. Susan, you said this to me 5 years ago. I'm like, oh shoot, what did I say? Like, what did I do? But it will, you make them feel special. You make them feel heard. You make them feel validated. You make that connection, and they may choose a different path for now because maybe they thought that was who knows, doesn't matter, right? Point is, no compromise on what we do and what differentiates us. Lead with that kind of posture and confidence, and they will remember. And if you stay consistent, they will come back. So that's what I got. Brad, back to you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Everything, Susan. Oh my gosh, you guys. Seriously. This will be a rewatch for sure. The only thing I want to say is if you don't feel like you can be Susan LaBelle, just go back and watch this. She just literally laid out for you. And what's cool is, like, I don't think I could ever be as cool as Susan, but my health assessments look the exact same. So you just follow the flow. And people can feel your energy. And I think Susan just laid out the roadmap to transforming lives. And here's the other cool thing. If you want to really create a large ripple effect, change a lot of lives, everything duplicates. So everything Susan just did is going to tee up your clients for success, an awesome coaching experience. Oh my gosh, there's so much brilliance in there. I'm gonna resist the urge to say everything was awesome and just say that everything was awesome. But if you duplicate that, people will remember what you did. And then when you teach them, they'll be like, oh, just remember how it went. So anyways, that's what we got for you. I hope you guys got some stuff. The chat is blowing up. So you guys, this is where we're going to take it, and we're going to recap. Let me share my screen real quick, and then we're going to have some open time if you guys want to ask some questions or just knock out a little bit of activity. It's all good, either one you want to do. Here, 1 second. My screen is not moving. Here we go. All right. Okay, for some reason, my slide is not really working. Let me actually stop. No, there we go. Here, we'll have to see. Technical difficulties. I'm good at it. All right. Guys, here's what you guys need to fly this week. First of all, congratulations to all of you that stayed on. What you need is a desire to want to grow. Like, that's really what it is. So, like, just the fact that you're on here right now. So check in with your health this week. Keep leading with your health. You are your own gas to your business with what you do. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 5 and 1, but you do have to be pursuing a higher level. People can feel your energy. This week, if you haven't already, text your support team. Let them know you're in. Like right now, after we get done with this, text them. And then let them know if you have or if you haven't done your map yet, just let them know it's okay. There's no like assignment on it, but just like let them know like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then let them know what you want most. That's what they want to know. They want to know what you want. That's what they want from you. And then if you haven't yet, grab a quick 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes with them just to make sure that they get to light that path for you. Start the month strong. Oh, hold on, I got to mute something real quick. 1 second. Got your back. All right. Start the month strong. You guys want to know what creates a growing business of momentum? It means starting the month the same way you finish the month. That's the big difference. So who are the next 2 to 3 people that are on your heart that you want to have? Who is on your map? What's the extra touches you're going to do this week? Which ones are you inviting to coaching? Who's on your heart? Like, who's that clarity you have at the start of the month? Check in with your schedule. We desire for you to live well. And it's like, you just got to thank Lori again for 2 weeks ago and Susan for being an example of that. Lori, everyone that spoke to that today, we really want this to like help accentuate every area of your life. Then live out loud. Take your connections to the next level. Build consistency this week. And above all, nail this first week. Absolutely set the tone for this month. Nail your check-ins, your text, your living out loud, your connections, your follow-up Friday, and we will see you next Saturday. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to take this off and put it back on screen share. You guys, appreciate you guys. You have a great month ahead. Hopefully you guys are thinking bigger, because bigger, if you guys just keep taking the steps, growth is just a decision that you make at the start of this month. That's my biggest thing that I want to encourage you guys on. I want to thank everyone who shared. It was absolute gold today. I'm going to go back and rewatch this. I know what I'm doing on my long plane ride back home. But with that being said, the call is over, my friends. If you've got action to take, go do it. We are officially done. I'm actually going to push stop on the record. Have a great Saturday and week and start of February. The momentum starts now.